Hey, what's going on, everybody? So this is Julian, it's your boy. I'm here to talk to you today about after repair value. Okay, I want to talk about also known as ARV, right? In the real estate world, in the wholesale world, that is what investors and wholesalers are all looking for. You want to make sure you get it at a much discounted price, so that you got meat on the bone, right? And enough for repairing, making it look 2020, soon 2021, right? You want to make it up to date, and you got enough margin to make your profit. So I'm going to go over ARV, what I look for in a property, right? What I look for in maybe when I'm calculating an offer. It really depends on the work that's needed on the property. But look, let's just make it easy and always assume that we got to at least spend, somewhere between $30,000 to $40,000 on a property, right? To make it tip top shape. So here's what I want to show you guys. Today we're going to go over this property here, 216 O'Brien Road, Fern Park, Florida. We're actually closing on this in a week or so, and we should be wholesaling this to an investor. So I like to use Zillow as a place to do comps. I also like to use the MLS. So for those that don't have access to the MLS, I'm going to show you exactly how I do it on Zillow. Okay, so I like to at least have two tabs open. Gives you an idea of, it just makes it easier to do the comparables when you're looking on Zillow. At least you got, your stats here. You already know it's a 4-bed, 1.5 bath, 1,392 square feet. So here, we'll go on the next tab, close it out. Why don't we zoom out a little? And we want to look at all the solds. Oh, sometimes when you see these boundaries, it's best to just click outside of it. Okay, so my house is somewhere in here, right? We want to look at just houses. We want to make sure that it is somewhere in here. Actually, this is good. Let's bump this up to 17. And this is how I got there, by the way. So you're gonna see your for sale, for rents, and solds, right? You don't have to pay attention to that. You don't really have to pay attention to this unless you absolutely want to get really granular. But for now, we're going to keep it very simple and basic. So let's see what year built this is. On Zillow, you scroll down and you'll see something that says facts and features, right? Year built, 1958. You always want to stay somewhat close to that range because you don't want to look at a house that was built in 2020, right? You want to look at houses that were built in the same time period. So I'm going to go 1940 to I don't know, let's just call it 70. I like to stay between 10 and 15 years apart, 10 to 20 years apart. So let's look at the last 12 months for now. And look at that. So we got a good range. I always like to stay very close, or as close as possible, to the neighborhood. So, and then a lot of times you want to be careful when you see these like interstate lines or highway lines. Just over it could be a whole nother area, whole nother neighborhood, valued differently, right? Sometimes they can compare. It really just depends on your market. It's something you have to pay attention to. I know here in Orlando, it's not that big of a difference, but in Tampa it is. And in some areas of Orlando it is, so it just really depends. It comes with time and doing your research, right? So here we go. So I like to draw, I know the property's here. I like to draw at least somewhat near it. There's some properties here, so why not? Let's take a look at those. Apply. Here, we got one in there. So it'll show newest, and you can also get more granular too. Not granular, but you have different options here, different filters here. You can go high price, low price. This is good when you want to see what the cash offers are going for there, right? So let's start with the ones nearest, right? So you got 245 right here in the same neighborhood, about the same size as our house, right? So let's see. Let's look at this one. This was just this summer, this July. Looks great. Looks beautiful. They did a good job. That vinyl flooring. They kept rugs in the bedrooms. Nice bathrooms. Looks like it's wood frame, which a lot of the houses are over there. So is this house. This house looks wood frame as well. Here, I'm just going over. Oh, okay. It's cement concrete. That's our house. This is the house that we're evaluating. And then you look over here. This house is probably the same. Oh, block stucco. Okay, so it's about both. It's both. You know. Um, then you got this one that went for the same price a month prior. So they did a good job there. So we actually, in Orlando, it really depends on the area per se, but there's a lot of times you can get away with 80% ARV. I don't always do the 75% ARV. It really just depends. It's subjective. You want to look at cash sales and after repair values, obviously. Um, and if there's enough meat on the bone for a $30,000, $40,000 rehab, then that helps when you're doing these evaluations, right? So why don't we do a little bit of math, right? So 245, and I'm just going to go over because it's in the same neighborhood. So I like that. So 245, let's just say let's just say 80%, right? Put you at 196. Let's drop it down $30,000. You're at 166, right? Now you're not always going to get these kinds of deals, but for example, the property might not need that much work. It could need a lot less. It could need just 15 grand, right? But if you're going to do kitchens and bathrooms, you got to already put your budget at least 20 grand if you're going to be doing those things. And you're not even talking about anything else you got to do. So 245, 80% ARV puts you at 193. Drop minus your repairs, right? That's usually the standard. But you know what? Let's see what the lowest cash offers are going here. The lowest one I see here is 205. Now that's great, right? Because if you got it on the contract for 193, guess what? You might be able to sell it for about 200. This one was bought almost a year ago now. It's outdated. Got to do everything in here: kitchen, bathroom, flooring. Yeah. So this helps. This actually really helps. Another way I like to do it, Redfin likes to lay it out there for you pretty easily. Let me see if I can find the comparables here. Nearby homes. See, there's some nearby homes sold there. Here we go. You got 285, 211. Look, all in the same area. 240, 269, 165. This is a very low comp. This was in May. So this probably had, you probably had to do everything on this one. But it's brick, so that's good. They probably got it. Someone made some money on this deal. So yeah, Redfin's good. It kind of lays it out there for you. I don't always see, for example, it says 1,000 square feet. I wouldn't really make that a real comparable because it's not that same size as our house. Our house is again, 1392. So 1,392 square feet, well, basically 1,400 square feet. So this might be too far. It's almost 400 square feet difference. So then there's the MLS, right? You don't have, let's just say you do have access. You have a friend that can allow you to use their MLS access. Another great way is to look at cash comps here too. Like I only want to look at the cash sales. There's only one here. And look, it went for 185. Sold in 6 days. 3-2. There's no pictures in here, so I can't tell what it needs. But it says TLC. So you always just got to think, and assume you're going to spend at least 30 to 40 grand sometimes, But the good thing is we already know what it can sell for. So meaning if you might have this on the contract for 170, you're in a good spot. You're in a good spot. You might be able to sell it for 185. You might be able to sell it for 200 because there's investors out there buying homes for that price. And you can see it because of the proof. That's why I love real estate, because the proof is all here. So that is how I do comps, ladies and gentlemen. I figure that you can always have a different perspective, right, on comps. I think this is a very quick and easy way, especially when you do not have access to the MLS. I think Zillow is phenomenal for that. Zillow will show you on market and as well as off market. You might not always have access to the pictures, but you will have access to sales. So that's really important. That's the most important. Well, all right, folks. That is that for today. I hope you got some value. If you did, smash the like button and subscribe. And I'll be doing this. I'm looking to do more of these and present value at least once a week, a few times a month. So, all right, peace.